Hello, true duelists. My name's Craig Fee, and here are some of the real things that happened this week. Massive fallout following popular YouTuber and streamer, mediocre but talkative, and literally every single person on Twitter.com, aka X, aka Twitter.com. World's competitor and sentient German Joshua Schmidt in ties with Konami. More about how the man changed his name to Josh Schmidt to help promote Yu-Gi-Oh's newest set. What's good lawsuit? House of Champs sued by a Redditor for daring to say that some cards are allowed to be expensive. Imagine, if you would, being shot in the chest. Oh wait, you don't have to. This just in, I'm getting word that Dark Magician, Red Eyes Black Dragon, and Blue Eyes White Dragon will be getting a new fusion monster that'll be dropping next year for the next Core Series set. If you're wondering about the source from that, it would be my uncle, who works for Konami. Welcome to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Update. We start with the news you've been waiting for. That's right, the Megatin announcements. Those Starlight Rares and Secret Rares and Ultra Rare reveals on Twitter have been truly magical and made every single person say out loud, "We love buying the Megatins!" And that's just the facts. But the lingering question has been, how many cards are going to be in this year's set? The 2024 Megatins had a 400 card pool that was met with some light pushback. So will they change it up and go back to the more 270-ish card pool we've seen in years past? Well, thanks to the Update's crack investigation team, we now know the answer. The 2025 Megatins will in fact have a card pool of 10,846 cards, which is fantastic news for those of you desperately waiting for reprints of Ritual Sealing or Soul of Fire, or something else that is real and exists and factually is real. They will not be adjusting the number of cards in the packs, however, or the ratios of the rarities, making this truly one of the sets of all time. With one Starlight Rare and one Secret Rare per pack and 3 packs per tin or boxlet. That means that any given tin will have 3 in 1350 chances of pulling a given Starlight and a reasonable 3 in 2700 chance for pulling a given Secret Rare. With odds like those, you'll only have to buy 8100 tins for a chance at a playset of any given Secret Rare, which is a reasonable $194,319 before taking into account taxes that exist. Truly, this makes the Megatins one of the most valuable products of all time, and thanks to having damn near every single card in the game in them, you literally are not allowed to complain about a single thing. This will only be seen as a good thing by everyone because I said so. And Konami has doubled down on not giving any promo cards in the tins for sake of being lazy, opting instead for 3 new world premiere cards and a perfectly reasonable 912 stock anime art character tokens, each in the Ultra Rare, Secret Rare, and Starlight Rare slots. I, for one, am incredibly excited to see all the neat tokens that I absolutely need in real life, and to watch as the world record for product that sits the longest on shelves is shattered by the brilliance of this new and excited and heavily desired Megatin. Starlight Rare, Starlight... Here I come. Fucking BRAINIAC.
BRAINIAC, I'm coming.
And big news from the competitive world of card games, because the Pokemon Company International hosted its World Championships across all its games. That's right, there's more to Pokemon than just 3 frames per year in Scarlet and Violet. There's also a card game and Pokemon League of Legends, something that unfortunately does exist and will hurt you. Still, their final stage had a very fancy-ass light display going on, namely in regards to the card game, what with it showing the bench and the active Pokemon zone, or whatever the hell it's called. I literally don't play Pokemon. The TCG. Still, it was a very bright and flashy thing that says, yeah, we've got fucking money and you're gonna look at it, and yep, we sure did. It of course ignited the usual annual traditions, that being a world's discussion relative to Pokemon and everything else, the financial debate of can anyone compete with the $90 billion franchise, and of course, this tweet from the annoying fuck who does it every goddamn year. How do people keep falling for it, and how does he keep getting away with it? Surely we're beyond that by now, but then again, it's a tweet on twitter.com, and there really is no better use for one of these when you remember that that website fucking exists. Still, it's finally given Konami that push to step up and say, you know what, we can show you what Worlds is really meant to look like. It's following that impressive display stage that really evokes Yu-Gi-Oh! Hologram technology from the anime. Konami has proudly announced that they'll be setting up a 15th table to put in the rented out classroom that Worlds will be held at, because that's just what Konami does. Just really give players a sense of how much they care and how much the competitive scene means. Also, they've announced that they'll be giving an extra set of sleeves out at Worlds, but only to those who compete in Master Duel, so that they won't be able to use them for not playing the actual TCG. Worlds is, of course, this coming weekend. By this coming weekend, I mean next coming weekend. And we'll lean heavily on the visual displays of Master Duel for any sorts of substance, so much so that you'd almost swear that popular YouTuber and streamer Mostly Bad Takes was right. And speaking of that lovely drama, we here at The Update know what the people want, and they want their Craig rants on all the things that are happening in the world. That includes, of course, the drama over the biggest names in the community. That's right, Farfa made a video about Duel Links, a game that exists and I'm aware of. And it was met with a long list of reactions from various content creators surrounding the game of Duel Links that I definitely knew existed prior to this moment. Now it's finally time I threw my hat in the ring, since everyone knows that I play so much Duel Links and they want my opinion on it. And you're gonna get my honest take. Oh, sorry, you would, but unfortunately you don't have enough gems to be able to see it. We all know that Duel Links is a very reasonably priced game that feels good to spend money on, averaging the cost of a playset of secret rares from this year's Megatins. How much was that again, Past Craig? $194,319. Thanks, Past Craig. Now you can go ahead and pick up some of those gems and spend them on the game and get ready real for this totally factually existence and visually definitely happened video of me talking about Duel Links, a game that I definitely play, and this joke was definitely really funny. And in a first ever for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Update, we have a guest appearance by prominent member of Yu-Gi-Oh!'s online community, the one and only Konami representative Douglas Zeeff. He's here in studio with me to answer some questions that you, the community, have wanted to hear. And as per his contract, all the questions will of course be decided by a wheel. So, spin away. So, Mr. Zeeff, thank you so much for joining us. What was it like being the first person to ever invent a wheel? Oh no, that's a good one. The commenters tell me that you actually could have won that last game if you had simply normal summoned a monster first, and that because they had perfect information about what popular YouTuber and streamer Mindless Blathering Tools 3 back row were, you could have easily played around them by tunneling into a potential threat that they knew popular YouTuber and streamer mainly blames townsfolk didn't have, thanks to that perfect information that you should have inherently known, and you're actually super secret bad the whole time now. What do you have to say in your defense?
Sticky, it's all that damn cum, like.
Very reasonable. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. Mr. Misplay, thank you for taking the time to visit us.
I'm so sick of it every week, dude.
And tragic news this week with Canada's own Jesse Cotton stranded in Vancouver. After attending the most hyped YCS to not be streamed, promoted, or cared for at all by Konami on the North American continent, he presumably planned to head home on Air Canada, one of the flights that exists in Canada. However, due to tremendous misfortune of being in Canada, he was unable to do so because Air Canada can't afford to pay its employees, as doing so would acknowledge Canadians as people, a stance it is firmly against as a company. Due to this, he was unable to get out of the city, and much like every other person who attended the event and was then unable to leave, had a heart attack at the cost of literally every single thing in that godforsaken shithole. That, coupled with the sheer pretentiousness of the local population living in Vancouver, was effectively full combo on anyone's life, not at all unlike facing full power tier Shizu with simply starter deck Joey circa 2003. He's now dead and has died and will no longer be alive on account of his tragic death. This is a horrible day for Canada and therefore the world. Following his death, Jesse was forced to walk home from the YCS and is expected to return in 34 days from the posting of this video. And so that wraps it up for this fully factual and real Yu-Gi-Oh! Update. As always, I've been your host, Craig Cree, Greg Gee. BBB. Thank you, of course, for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and do another thing that would also be really cool. Like, I don't know. Tell your friend about it. I don't know. I do not know. The only thing I do know is that if you do one or all of those things, not only will you impress your smoking Italian wife, but you'll of course become a true duelist and continue to get truly factual information from the most factual man on the internet, me, Craig Fee. Mr. Misplay, thank you for taking the time to visit us. Fantastic. That bit's gonna fucking suck.
BRAINIAC, I'm coming.